A very good afternoon from the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium, where it is day 4 of the 2022 Sultan of Johor Cup. And it will be match 10. We'll see India taking on Australia. But before we give you the information about the teams, let's take a look at the league standings at the moment after the first 3 days of competition. Well, Australia are still the only team unbeaten at the moment. Has been a little bit of a shake-up now as India move into second spot on 6 points, but South Africa are also there on 6 points. And so really big day for both of those teams. If they can get wins today, well, they will definitely, you feel, be in the running for the bronze medal match. Of course, trying to stop them will be Great Britain, Japan and Malaysia. Great Britain, well, they're the defending champions and they will want a win today more than anybody. They take on Malaysia and South Africa play Japan. So there are plenty of action coming your way, and it is going to be a day where we may get a better inkling as to who's going to be playing in the medal matches on Saturday. Turning our attention to the team lineups and the players I think you need to look out for today. Well, this is a must-win game for India, and I think Rajinder, wearing the number 78, he's going to be a key component. Really strong when he's running with the ball, and it's going to be him that is going to have an impact in the forward line. Uttam Singh, their captain, has had a really good tournament as well, leading from the front, come up with a couple of goals. Vishnukant, wearing 14 in the midfield, will also be an important player, along with Amandeep. And Sudeep Chamako, wearing number 9. Again, he's starting on the bench, but he is a lively player, manages to get the ball into the back of the net. And again, I think this will be a game where he will really show his worth to India. Turning our attention now to Australia, and you feel that India's going to go all out because they need to win this game. So Australia's defence is going to be really important. Jed Snowden and Ollie Higgins in goal. Well, they're going to have to marshal the players in front of them. And Cam Geddes will be one of those players, along with Connor Otterback, Nathan Zinner and David Hubbard. When it comes to scoring goals, well, Cooper Burns has scored a goal a game at least, and he's also had a hat-trick in the tournament. So, again, he'll want to be amongst the goals, but I'm sure that they would be happy to share them around if anybody else is in that position for Australia. They want to go through this tournament unbeaten. They want to continue their winning ways, and most of all, they want a victory over India. I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to sharing the action with you again today. We're hoping that there's no thunderstorms today. Unfortunately, when Australia played yesterday, the 1 hour delay, we actually had all the telecommunications went out in the area, not just in the stadium, in the whole area. And that is why we actually recorded the game. It is now up on YouTube, so you can catch that game in its entirety. And then I must say that everybody in the area worked really hard so that we would get everything back up so that we could give you the second 2 games. So, again, our thanks to the employees of the Johor Hockey Association who made that possible for Game 2 and Game 3. Certainly talking to some of the players yesterday, they were saying they'd never seen rain like that before in their lives. It sure did come bucketing down, and the pitch was absolutely underwater. But again, it drained superbly, and we were able to get on with things, albeit a little late. So hopefully today we shouldn't have any rain. It looks pretty good, the sky, but it is incredibly warm. It's 29 degrees at the moment. Says it feels like 34. And I can tell you the humidity is currently at 74%. It was as high as 77 a little bit earlier, but it is just dropping, which is good for the players. So the players just finishing their warm-up now, and then it will be time for them to line up. One last load of instructions from their 2 coaches. The coaches for India the coach for India is C.R. Kumar, and of course he has plenty of experience. Did coach the Indian junior side many years ago, but wasn't there when they won the World Cup because he'd had to step up to the national team, and he was saying that he feels he's got some unfinished business and really would like to take this team or this group of players through to the World Cup in Kuala Lumpur next year. Coach of Australia is Jay Stacey, a man who had plenty of experience. 4 Olympic Games he went to in his playing career. Was also World Player of the Year back in 1999. So the 2 captains down below just exchanging pennants. And that will be a very special moment, I'm sure, for Connor Otterback. and also for Uttam Singh. Coin just being tossed in the air. And it looks like India have won the toss. Our umpires for this game are Eric Etzebeth from South Africa. He hails from Cape Town and actually went to Stellenbosch University. And Amarul Rashid from Malaysia. This is his first international tournament. Umpires for the Selangor Hockey Association in Kuala Lumpur. And so, obviously, big moment for him. And I'm sure it's a great moment, too, for Eric Etzebeth, who most of his umpiring has actually been done within South Africa or Africa. So, a nice overseas trip for him. And certainly, I think all the umpires have enjoyed the hospitality they've received here in Johor Bahru. As we wait for the players to come out, I can just acknowledge our sponsors again. Griffin, making an impact since 1983. Project Innovations, their in-house expertise adds value to consultants' designs, and they also assist in conducting value management and risk management workshops. They are a consultancy company providing project management services. And then we have Ong & Ong, design management and engineering, offering a 360-degree solution. And of course, we also have Grandwork Interiors, who are committed to improving people's quality of life by using health-friendly materials and ensuring their products demonstrate superior craftsmanship. Well, the announcer again is making sure he's heard today. We've not got a huge crowd in, and it seems whenever it's not so busy, he has to be on twice the volume and completely drowns out my own voice in my headphones. Well, the players making their way out now, and that means the action is not too far away. And this is going to be a really interesting game, I believe. Both these teams are currently the equal top scorers in the competition. Whether that means we're going to see goals, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. So we are going to pause now for the national anthem, and first will be the national anthem of India, Jana Gana Mana. And now we'll have the national anthem of Australia, Advance Australia Fair. The national anthem's completed now, and the play can get underway. And I was saying how there's not much to choose between these two teams. Well, in the last, going back to 1982 at under 21 level, from what I could find, they played 14 times. Australia's won 7, India's won 6, and there's been one draw. And if you want to look at the goals scored, Australia 33, India 34. Absolutely nothing to choose between these two teams. And this should be, therefore, a really tight match. Both of them the highest scorers currently in the competition. India have managed to spread their goals around just a little bit more. And India have actually conceded more than Australia. Australia just having conceded 3 goals so far in their opening 3 games here in Johor Bahru. India, on the other hand, have conceded 8. So India certainly having a long last-minute talk from their captain, Uttam Singh. They're in a huddle on the pitch. And now they finally break up. The Australian players already in position, ready to get going. Starting under the bar for India will be Ankit Malik. And for Australia, Jed Snowden gets the nod. So Jed Snowden, who I mentioned last time, went in goal. His brother and his dad, Hugh and Ian, respectively, being strikers. But his uncle, of course, was Neil Snowden, who went to 2 Olympic Games in 1984 and 1988 and played with the coach Jay Stacey in 88. Brodie Foster pushes back and gets us underway. He goes back to Josh Brooks. So there are some goalkeeping genes in the Snowden family, and no doubt Jed is hoping to follow in his uncle's footsteps. So it's Geddes now for Australia. Key thing, I think, for Australia here today is they mustn't get sucked into trying to play at the pace or the style that India like to play at. Jay Stacey will want them to play the structure that he has planned. Henderson, double back, goes to Brooks. Brooks was asking a little bit there of Toby Mallon, but Mallon, who is the second youngest player in the tournament, did well. And that one just a little bit too far ahead of Geddes. So India will get their first touch of the ball. Ball will come across to Rohit. Shardar is wide, but they go infield this time to Amandeep. 2 players with the Amandeep name. There's Amandeep Lakra and just Amandeep. Comes wide now to Shardar. Little flick of the wrists looking for Amandeep. Amandeep brings it down. Leaves it now for his captain, Uttam. Uttam to Amandeep again. Pressure being applied by Cooper Burns. Comes back to Shardar. Shardar saw the run on the far side, and that's been brought down well. Short pass to Vishnukant. Play to the baseline. Uttam's there. In he comes across the face of goal, and there is the opening goal. Tapped home by Bobby. So India take the lead with their first attack. And it was really good movement by them. Just 2 minutes gone. Vishnukant played the ball to Uttam. Uttam along the baseline. Drew the keeper. Bobby tap in. 1-0 India. And this will be the test for Australia now. First time they've been behind in the tournament. But a really well-crafted goal by India.
Goal for India, scored by player number 11, Bobby Singh.
Bobby Singh Dami only took up hockey when he moved to live with his uncle in Tanakpur. And that was a fortuitous move for him. He was then brought in as Australia shoot. Oh, there is the goal to come back. What a response by Liam Hart. Well, Hart has been amongst the goals. That's his 4th of the tournament, and it's the perfect reply by Australia. Less than a minute after India have scored, Australia have said, well, okay, we've given you one. We'll pull one back now. If this is the way things are going to be in this match, we could be in for quite a lot of goals. So India, their lead lasting less than a minute.
Scored by player number
So Australia showing that they are happy to match them. Losing possession there. Amandeep feeds it forward to Bobby Singh Dhami. That's a good tackle inside the circle from the captain tonight, Otterbach from Victoria. Connor Otterbach, studying business at RMIT University. A mistrap that time at the back from Jay McDonald. We'll see possession go back to India. Hundal plays it in from the side, gave it to Rajinder, long corner to India. Amir will play this ball. Just telling the Australian player to get back the required distance. Amir looks to feed it to Bobby again, but I think that just caught his foot. I'm sure there's a little bit of relief on Jay McDonald's mind there. His mistrap obviously handing over possession to India. Cooper Burns. Now to Josh Brooks, back to Burns again. Burns didn't get it under control first time, and well, the umpire says that was a backstick. Burns doesn't agree, and I must admit from the angle I was, it didn't look like there was a backstick there, but let's just play on. Sharda with Brodie Foster ahead of him. Little push ahead, managing to find Ankit Pal. Strong challenge comes in, but good work being done by Angad Bir. That's a good pass as well by Australia, managing to find Jaden Atkinson. Atkinson in turn finds Holland. Holland just holds it up on the 23-metre line, plays it infield to Michael Doan. As Doan was trying to bring that down, he played it into the Indian player dangerously. Approaching the end of the first 5 minutes. Thrown long, and that is very long. Bobby manages to keep it in play. Well-timed tackle coming in from, well, no. Trent Sims has been penalised. I thought that was actually a very good tackle. The umpire a little bit closer to the action, felt otherwise. So India now with their first penalty corner of the match. And I must tell you all that they have got the best percentage from penalty corners of any team here. Their conversion rate currently at 54%. They've scored 6 penalty corners from 11 penalty corners awarded. So this will be a real test for Jed Snowden and his defenders alongside him. Sharda waits. Alongside Sharda is Amandeep Lakra. It goes to Sharda. Sharda flicks hard and low, goes straight into the first runner. Will be a reward. Good defence, though, initially by Australia. They've still got to defend again now to keep India at bay. Make his way to the baseline is Puvana. And Sharda and Amandeep Lakra swap. And now Sharda says, no, I'm coming back in. Mistrap that time, and there's a great chance for Australia as that's going to run straight through to Josh Brooks. Brooks has got ahead of him, Lambeth. Lambeth goes back to Brooks, mistrap by him this time, and now India will benefit from that. Ball played forward early that time by Angad Bir. Amandeep Lakra. And it's going to be free hit to David Hubbard. Good work by him. Plays for the Eastern Suburbs Club in Queensland, in Brisbane. Sorry, for a split second, my mind went blank. Hubbard again on the ball, originally from East London in South Africa. I'm sure he's looking forward to Australia's next game against the country of his birth. That's brought down well by Sims. Sims into the circle. Great pass to Holland. Holland makes no mistake, and Australia now have the lead. And Holland has his third goal of the tournament. But it was a good run by Sims to set him up. So that's just the 6th minute, and we've got a third goal. So it's raining goals here today. It was raining cats and dogs yesterday at this time. 5 minutes in, we abandoned everything for an hour before we could come back. Well, you don't want to go anywhere at the moment. Lambeth has the ball again for Australia. Looks to take on Vishnakant. Vishnakant stood firm. Well, I think Vishnakant, to be honest, there is a little bit hard done by. I think it was the Australian player that was leaning into him, and he just stayed upright. Umpire saw it otherwise, but that's my take on it, for what it's worth. Nathan Zinner feeds it to Geddes. Geddes lays it back, trying to play the 1-2, but it goes harmlessly over the baseline. So now, the question is, how do India respond? They went behind against South Africa, then came back and took a 3-1 lead. And it was only right at the death of that game they ended up going down 5-4. And that's not going to be able to be cleaned up at the back, so it will be a long corner to India. Rajinder over the ball for India. Self passes, likes to go on a run, plays it straight in, was looking for the touch to come from Uttam. It was a really good run by Uttam, the captain, into the circle. Good anticipation again from India, and in particular Emir. Penalty corner. So India applying the screws at the moment. They want to get back on level terms quickly. So their third penalty corner already. And I'm sure Jay Stacey will be saying we've got to eliminate the amount of penalty corners we concede, because with a 54% conversion rate, it's only a matter of time before India convert. So Vishnakant now strolls down to the baseline. Shardar waits, Rohit alongside him. Shardar now goes to the second battery, Rohit to the first. The whistle has gone. So it goes to Shardar. Oh, he makes absolutely no mistake. And that is a brilliant flick from Shardar. And he has pulled India level. And that is Shardar's fourth goal now of the tournament. Cooper Burns on 5, Cameron LaForester on 4, Hart now on 4, Shardar now on 4. And we're up to 55 goals, and this is the 10th match. So plenty of goals here at the Sultan of Johor Cup, and I think there's more in this game. Great run forward now coming from Chimarko. Chimarko, top of the circle, over the crossbar it goes. He is a live wire player. A very exciting player. Akashdeep Singh is, he says, his hero. He hails from Odisha, but Akashdeep, of course, from the Punjab. And Akashdeep, a very popular player here in Malaysia. Played in the Junior Asia Cup many years ago and was outstanding in that. It's going to be a long corner for Australia now. Henderson plays it early, top of the circle. And shielding the ball with his stick is the call from the umpire. So that one going against Jaden Atkinson. So we're all level again. And I said there was nothing to choose between these two teams when you look at it historically at this level. If we go back to the Junior World Cup in 1982, which was the furthest I went back, that was a 3-2 win for Australia. So just the one goal in it. Brodie Foster now looks to play that one in, but he caught it into the turf. And he's annoyed with himself about that as well. So Rohit now will play it out from the back for India. Amandeep. Vishnakant surrounded by Australian players, and he just maybe took his eye off the ball as it was played to him. Brooks now for Australia, plays it to Cooper Burns, who also seems to have a sea of blue players around him. And India, that's great skills to get out of a tight spot. Vishnukant feeds it forward. Rajinder now. Rajinder looking to feed it forward himself to Hundal. Hundal on the ball for India. Gets it back to Rajinder. Good defence in the end. And that was really good play by Brodie Foster, who's come back to help out his defence. Hundal, south passes, looks to advance towards the circle. Rajinder got the free hit. In he goes, slips as he gets inside the circle, and Australia let it run over the baseline. I think Rajinder was looking at the umpire more in hope than anything else. He knew that he just slipped. It looked like he just went on the side of his shoe. It's going to be another free hit to India. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Comes all the way back to Rohit. Puvana. Puvana wanting the ball back. Comes to Rohit. He'll play it wide now. Cyril Lagun. And that takes a deflection off Connor Otterbach's stick. Long corner for India. Amandeep just told to move it about a metre to the left-hand side. And good block by Brodie Foster. Stops the ball getting into the circle. Ankit Pal, the man, trying to sweep that one past him. Ankit Pal, who had the unique distinction of making his debut for India at the Junior World Cup last year. Hubbard now. And he's just got his bearings wrong there with the run from Australia just ahead of him. It was Lambert who made that run, and the ball just going behind him. Shardar now for India. Gets the ball back. There's not a lot of movement from India. Shardar loves the overhead pass. Snowden has to come out and uses his glove well to clear it out of the circle, and that's good from Brooks. Finding the foot of Puvana. I think the one thing that worries me a little bit about Shardar, what I've seen, is Sandeep Singh loved to throw the aerial pass, and just sometimes he throws it too high. It needs to be a little bit flatter to be effective, and he throws it also, we've seen in this tournament, a little bit too long at times. Certainly in the Hockey India League, Mark Knowles, who's one of the coaches of the Australian team, he was forever playing alongside Sandeep Singh and would tell him, no, Sandeep, no. And we would hear that in our effects microphones. Another good tackle at the back for Australia from Brooks. Turned over, though, in the middle of the field. We've got a minute and a half left. Cyril Lagun on the board. On the ball, rather. He turned his back there just as Rohit was about to hit the pass to him. Ankit Pal brings it down. That's a rather clumsy tackle from Michael Dowen. Goes forward and into Angad Bir. Otterbach now. Up the side it goes from Hubbard. Lagun. Ankit Pal. Good pass out to the left-hand side, but Australia shifting well. Puvana now to Cyril Lagun. Wanted the ball thrown forward, but Lagun went back into the defensive line. Puvana offers the square ball. Now again we see it thrown long. Cut out superbly in defence by Jay McDonald. Watched it all the way onto his stick. He had to. And Australia get the free hit on the far side. Otterbach will probably throw this to the air just to clear the danger. And he throws it not only in the air but out of play. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. But what a first quarter it's been. With just the second minute, Bobby gave India the lead. Liam Hart equalised. Then Jack Holland gave Australia the lead before Sharda equalised from a penalty corner. So at the first break, it's India 2, Australia 2. Well, India are already back out, ready to get the second quarter underway. Australia breaking up now and making their way out. I can just tell you that India are rotating their goalkeepers quarter by quarter. So Mohit has come on, the 20-year-old from Karnataka. Played in the FIH's Fives tournament in Lausanne. The invitational tournament that was a promotion for the new format of the game. Doan surrounded, but was very aware of that. Managed to get the ball back to Nathan Zinner quickly. Hubbard tried to deflect it forward, but it went to Amandeep. Rajinder now for India. Back to Amandeep. And Amandeep ran down a dead end there. And it's picked up by Hart. Hart again stays calm. Sees Australia retain possession. And that quarter-time break just flew by. Mark Knowles, one of the assistant coaches, over to our right-hand side, shouting his instructions from high in the stand. And that was just a little bit narrow from Hubbard that time. Amandeep Lakra was trying to steal a metre or two. Was sent back by umpire Amarul Rashid. Vishnukant. Well, Henderson thought that he'd got the ball away that time, but the whistle came just after. Liam Henderson, a product of Trinity Grammar School in Melbourne. Along the baseline, good run by India, trying to find the foot. Laid back that time by Hundal. It's going to come to Hundal again. That's a very important touch by Doan. Lifting it in the air, but brought down by Amandeep Lakra. Lakra feeds it down the line now. Bobby, lovely little swish from him into the pads, and it ricocheted back straight to Hundal, but unfortunately for him, into his foot and not his stick. Bobby is an exciting player. Doan again. Vishnukant will be the player penalised. McDonald over the ball for Australia. Goes to the air, but should be easy pickings in the end for Amandeep Lakra. And Jake Lambert just going in that 5 metres, so conceding a free hit, but Australia now dropping back. Sharda finds Vishnukant. Good pass to Rajinder. Nathan Zinner stepping out, closing down the space for Rajinder, but Rajinder there now. Gets a touch, it's going to dribble in. And that is another goal for India, so they've stolen the lead back. And this time it is Hundal who gets the touch. I'm not sure he knew too much about it, to be honest. It came in at fair pace, and he just tried to get something on it. And that wrong-footed Jed Snowden, and the ball just dribbled over the goal line. So now it is India 3, Australia 2. Hundal, who went to the Maharaja Ranjit Singh Hockey Academy in Butala. In fact, Hundal was a player who said that he remembers as a 12-year-old watching India win the Junior World Cup in Lucknow. And he said it had a huge impact on him. And I'm sure some of those players wouldn't have realised how far-reaching that victory would be. Jamarco, good pass by him. Shot on the turn, Snowden saves, it comes down in a penalty corner. Came down into a crowded area, so fourth penalty corner now for India. And certainly the opening stanza of this second quarter has been predominantly all India. Certainly you would feel Australia do not want to concede now. Puvana goes to the baseline. Shardar again at the second battery. Just has a word with his stopper, Ankit Pal. Rohit at the first. And this time they go to Rohit. Rohit flicks it hard low. It goes into the first runner. Ricochets out. Snowden's come a long way. Shot on the turn is a good one, but good save from Snowden to deny Chamarko. Australia, though, now get the chance to break through Lambert. Lambert runs at the defence. Great pass. Holland, can he keep it in? It's Stroke. The keeper just catching Holland. And a yellow card as well for Mohit. Well, is it Mohit or is it one of the other players in front of him? Well, it was a good pass from Lambert to Holland. It is Mohit who's picked up the yellow card. So back onto the pitch comes the other goalkeeper, Ankit Malik, and he has to deny Brooks. Brooks already scored one penalty stroke in the tournament. Gets the chance now to try and pull Australia level. Australian players already back in their own half. They're confident. And Brooks gets it. Malik tried to fool him. And Brooks gets Australia level at 3 apiece. Just 4 minutes gone in the second quarter. It really is raining goals here at the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium. I thought this was going to be a fairly tight affair, but I'm sure both coaches are probably tearing their hair out at the moment, the amount of goals that are being scored. If we carry on at this rate, we could be in double figures by the end. Uttam, good pass by him, but it came up off the Indian player's stick that time. Trent Sims, who has an Indian connection, his grandfather hails from India, Marcus, who was a boxer and a hockey player back there. And in fact, his uncle was born in India, but his father, Nigel, was born in Australia when the family moved to Australia. But I think he's still very close to, or very proud of his Indian roots through his grandfather. And that's a missed trap. So it's amazing how sport can throw up all these connections between all these countries. Players with South African connections and Indian connections playing for Australia. And it just makes it all the more special when they come up against those countries. Makes the memories that much greater. Amandeep Lakra to Cyril Lagun. Sharda, again, a flick of the wrist. Look how high that's gone. And as I said, it hit the top bit of the fencing. And that's where I just think he needs to be reined in and limited how much he does that, because he's just not effective with it. And it's given possession to Australia, although Doan unable to connect that. And a lot of the players saying this pitch is just a little bit bobbly, and that's why there's so many missed traps. I mean, obviously, this is the cream of the under-21 players from their various countries, so you maybe wouldn't expect so many missed traps. But new turf here in Tamandar Hockey Stadium, and I believe it's just not quite settled yet. Vishnukant plays it forward. That was really determined defending from Hubbard. Atkinson now goes to Otterbach. Geddes, and Otterbach will just slowly shift it forward. That's thrown high and long. And in the end, the decision goes the way of Amandeep Lakra. Both players were running into the space, so decision going in favour of the defender. Vishnukant to Lakra again. Well, Hubbard missed that one, and Bobby, well, luckily for Australia, scuffed that as he played it into the circle. Brooks now has the chance to clear for Australia. Faced with Rajinder. Rajinder forcing him back towards the corner flag. Brooks, though, shown the line and decides to take that passage. 3 Indians in pursuit. He plays the ball infield. Lakra's stolen it back now. Amandeep. Burns trying to stop Amandeep. Bobby's gone to the baseline. Bobby gets the pass from Amandeep. And he'll win a long corner for India. Again, we're just waiting for the ball to come on. Amandeep, short pass to Rajinder, tries to play it first time, and it goes into the shins of Josh Brooks. Brooks, the sole Tasmanian in the side here. And that's a great steal by Amandeep. Good block again by Brooks. Good save by Snowden to deny Amandeep. And a mistrap as Australia looked to get on with it. Hart was trying to turn with the ball, and it just ran off his stick. Now it's Amandeep Lakra. Hundal just coming on. Cyril Lagun receives the ball. Hundal's down the line if he wants him. Sharda, will he go to the air again? No, he's going to go back to Lakra once more. I'm sure he's getting those itchy wrists where he wants to throw it long. Is this going to be it? No, he's still showing a little bit of discipline, which is good. Lakra. He goes high this time. And the decision goes the way of Australia. Angad Bir wasn't underneath the ball. Doan was, and he came into that space. So just over under 5.5 minutes left in the first half. All tied up at 3 apiece. Sharda goes infield to Vishnukant. Vishnukant really ran into trouble, but he did well to get the better of Lambert. Vishnukant still going, and he's drawn the foul. Comes to Rohit, not sure what the delay was there. Cyril Lagun now angles that, it ricocheted off Otterbach's stick and it'll go out over the side, but India getting the last touch. So Geddes now. In front of Geddes though is Hundal. Shardap brings it down. Vishnukant again, a little bit of space. This time he feeds the ball forward. Amir. Hundal. First player took the sting off it before Otterbach collected inside the circle. Lambert now. It's going to be closed down. And green card issued. So Hundal, a couple of minutes on the side for him. So India down to 10. Can Australia take advantage and take the lead into half-time? Geddes plays it down the right-hand side. Short pass was looking for Lambert. Apologies if I called him Lambert earlier. I think I might have done. Jake Lambert. McDonald. And Australia having lifted that. Shardap was just trying to get India to just slow things down, especially as they're a player down. Shardap again. Throws it to the air. That's brought down brilliantly by Jaden Atkinson. Push forward by Lambert to Burns. Burns faced with Rohit, managed to get it to Lambert. Lovely little tuck pass behind his back from Lambert back to Burns, but in the end it's Amandeep who comes up with it for India. And another free hit. Desperate attempt to win it back for Australia from Liam Henderson. Lagun, Cyril Lagun goes to Ankit Pal. Amandeep. Shardap. Goes back to Rohit. There's 2 minutes left now in the first half. Johnson Purdy brings it down. He scored an absolute screamer the other night in their game against Japan. Comes wide, this time to Ankit Pal, but he lifts it into the circle and creates danger, so it will be Australia ball. Played to Brooks, pressure applied quickly by Ankit Pal. Otterbach will take the free hit. He throws it long and wide, and that's brought down well into the circle, deflects towards the keeper, off the foot of Rohit. Penalty corner. So Australia, their first penalty corner of the match, coming, well, just 12 seconds away from the final minute of the first half. They've got a 23% conversion rate so far in this tournament, 5 from 21. So they will be hoping they can take the lead here. Brooks lining up. Brodie Foster at the first battery. And Brooks at the second. So Foster and Brooks. Goes to Foster. It's a missed trap again. Hubbard keeps it alive for Australia. Into the circle he goes. Free hit just outside the deep. Comes back to Hubbard again from Brooks. Good pass, shot on the turn. Good save, Mohit. Wow, Brooks was upended then, and then the deflected shot coming in the end from Liam Hart. And the best Australia can get is a long corner. Brooks again. Keeps going. Liam Hart goes back to Otterbach. Sims now for Australia. 30 seconds left. Holland tries to keep it in play but doesn't manage to do so. So it'll be a free out to India. And they'll take their time, I'm sure. Cyril. Closed down quickly that time by Hart. Rohit. Will India look for one last attack? Sharda tried to throw it to the air. It never got off the ground. Angad Bir dispossessed, and the whistle goes for the end of the first half as Henderson was bursting forward. But it's been an absolute thriller so far in the first half hour. The lead switching back and forth. But as we head into half-time, it is India 3, Australia 3. Welcome back to the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium. The second half about to get underway in this match 10 between India and Australia on day 4 of the 2022 Sultan of Johor Cup. Australia unbeaten so far in the tournament. They're sitting top of the ladder on 9 points. India currently sitting second on 6 points. And this game is tied up at 3 apiece. India desperately wanting to get a victory today to try and force their way into the gold medal match on Saturday. India are the first players to come out for this second half. The Australian players just breaking up down below us. And this should be, if the first half is anything to go by, an absolutely thrilling half an hour. Australian players coming out. The humidity still very, very high at the moment. It was at 74% when the game started, which may well favour India because they're probably used to that a little bit more than the Australian players. And I do apologise if we have actually lost some of you because we believe there is another problem at the stadium with the internet. And trust me, we are trying to get it sorted out. And hopefully, on the day off tomorrow, those concerned can fix the problem. And we will not have any more interrupted matches. So, India to get us underway. Just waiting for the umpires to give the signal. Ollie Higgins in goal for Australia. Mohit remains in goal for India. Thrown wide to Vishnukant. Michael Doan jumps high and brings it down out of the sky. Good work by him. Comes to Campbell Geddes now. Brodie Foster. Good defence coming across from Rohit though. Just pushes it over the side. Cooper Burns will leave it for Geddes. Geddes' pass finds Lambeth. Well, it's Atkinson, rather. McDonald squares it. And good pressure being put on Nathan Zinner, that time by Chimarko. Although the free hit will go to Australia. Brooks now sitting in the heart of defence. Brooks first times it, but just got the angle wrong. Vishnukant collected it, feeds it forward to Bobby. Bobby in turn looking to feed it to Chimarko. Good covering tackle from Nathan Zinner. Atkinson again. Forced across the pitch laterally and Rajinder comes back. India have stolen it, but Australia have got numbers back. Good running, though, by Uttam. Uttam into the circle, plays it across. Brooks will get there, plays it out to the side, and Hubbard will help him out. Now Atkinson for Australia. And eventually the free hit goes Australia's way. Nathan Zinner. Good calling from Hart. Hart's got the better of Shardar there. But eventually the free hit goes India's way. Amardeep Lakra leaves it for Shardar. Pushes it to Vishnukant, who's going to get closed down, but he still gets his pass out to Amir. Bobby now over the 23-metre line. Chased by Zinner. Bobby turning back onto his forehand across the face of goal, off the pads of Higgins. I think India felt that there was maybe a penalty corner call there, but was there danger? Rajinder seemed to be the only man in the area where the ball came to. Played on quickly by Amir. Long corner. Or is it? No, it's a free hit just outside the circle. So Amir, it's not Amir, it's Bobby. My apologies there. Another free hit to India. Vishnukant feeds it now to Bobby. Saved by Higgins and a good clearance from McDonald. So India again pressing hard at the start of this second half, looking to try and take the lead again. Uttam can't keep it in. Rajinder brings it down from the sky. Vishnukant just managing to pull away from Toby Mallon. India got plenty of bodies forward now. Sharda looking for the pass, throws it wide out to the right-hand side and brought down in the end by Amardeep Lakra. Another free hit to India just outside the circle on the right-hand side. Amir was thinking of going forward on this left-hand side. It's been lost. Bobby will square it in front of goal. Saved by Higgins. Will fall now to Amir. Amir dinks it forward. Across the face of goal from Uttam. Penalty corner. India with their 5th penalty corner. With a sharp save from Higgins to deny Chimarko. But India with a penalty corner have another great chance to take the lead. Rajinder is lining up. So too Amardeep Lakra. But it's Sharda at the first battery. Rajinder has said he's standing in. Amardeep Lakra retreats at the second battery. And now Rajinder comes in at the first. Sets it up for Sharda. Top corner. And that is a brilliant penalty corner routine. And India take the lead back again. Sharda with his 2nd of the match. And his 5th now in the tournament. So India with just the 5th minute of this second half are back in front. Well, they were the first to score in the first half and they're first to score in the second half. And Australia again have to dig deep. Australia look to play on quickly. Liam Henderson plays it out wide to Sims. Back to Henderson. Can he keep it in? Yes. Hemmed in it in the corner. Good tackle by Sharda. 2017 at the Sultan of Johor Cup, it was 4-3 in favour of Australia. 2018, it was 5-4 in favour of India. In 2019, when Australia were struck down by illness, it was 5-1 to India. So there's plenty of goals usually in this match when these two meet here in Johor Bahru. Sharda again throws it to the air. Lands fortuitously for India. Bobby will collect that one. Manages to get it to Angad Bir. 360 from him. Gets onto his forehand. Bobby tries to play that forward. Good work again by Michael Doan. Down the line it goes from Zinner. Holland tries to play it in. And Lakra is going to get a card for playing that after the whistle. 2 minutes for Amardeep Lakra. He's still trying to argue his case. The umpire's not going to change his mind. And eventually Amardeep Lakra makes his way over to the bench. Went to St Thomas's School in Rourkela. Passes to Atkinson. Atkinson looks to try and slide that one through. Will be another free hit to Australia just outside the circle. A little bit of push and shoving going on inside the circle. Umpire just talking to Holland and I think Rohit trying to get on the end of that. First of all was Atkinson and then Henderson. But unfortunately for Australia, the ball went harmlessly out of play. So Rohit now. I think the concern for the coach of India, Siar Kumar, will be just how many goals his team is conceding. 3 today. They conceded 2 against Malaysia, 5 against South Africa. They're scoring plenty, but they just need to shore up the defence. Foster does well, feeds it forward to Lambeth, to Brooks now. Oh, almost went through to Lambeth again. So Brooks with the free hit just outside the 23 means he can play it straight into the circle, which he does. That was very good defence in the end by Sharda. And it's gone out of play. So Sims now will play it back in from the side for Australia. Goes back to McDonald in the defensive line. Switches play out to the left-hand side. Goes back to McDonald again. Block is a good one at the edge of the circle from Rohit. Sharda. Sharda again, Amir. Cyril Lagun. Rohit throws it long. And that was brought down superbly by Chimarko. Tries to get it past Geddes. Chimarko, another 360 spin from him. And does he find the foot? Yes, he does. So India ball just infield. Lovely little shimmy there, but I think just using the stick to shield the ball and prevent the tackle. Thrown over the top now. Holland very close to getting on the end of that one. So Australia trailing 4-3. India, this would be an important win. Not only just in the context of the tournament, but if they are to play Australia in the gold medal match. Good work by Vishnukant. Australia steal it though. Vishnukant. Oh, the Australian fans not very happy with that one. Vishnukant, who started playing hockey when he was 6 years old, followed his sister Priti. And Priti, of course, plays for the Indian Eves, the national women's team, as Uttam bursts forward. Cooper Burns was chasing him. Vishnukant on the ball now. Ball breaks kindly. Good little run from Amandeep, but Australia's defence does well. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Geddes. Well, he wanted to go across field, but Uttam was waiting for that pass to be made, and then he was going to step forward. Deflected through the middle by Atkinson. Rohit mistrapped by him. Cooper Burns plays on quickly. Burns gets to the edge of the circle. Penalty corner. Just a body check from India. So Australia with just their second penalty corner of the match. And if ever they needed a goal, it was now. They would love to go into the final break level again and just have the chance to go on and try and find a winner. Whereas 1 point would actually seal Australia's place in the gold medal match. So a draw would be fine for Australia, I'm sure. Hart makes his way to the baseline. Geddes and Cooper Burns line up. Geddes at the first battery, Cooper Burns at the second. It comes quickly to Burns. And it will be a reward. Went into the shins of the first runner. I must admit that was injected really quickly, and I don't think the guys at the top of the circle were all ready. So same positions. Geddes at the first battery as Brooks to his left. Cooper Burns at the second battery. They go to Burns again. It's a mistrap, but Otterbach gets it under control. Fired in by McDonald. Brooks lays it back to Brooks, and Brooks gets it. Well, it was good work by Australia. They didn't panic, and Brooks gets his second of the match and ties it all up at 4 apiece. So Josh Brooks now is getting amongst the goals. And just 4 minutes left in this quarter. So Josh Brooks, that is his 4th goal of the tournament. Rajinder. Good break down the side from India, but just running out of space, and then the ball into the circle, just too narrow for Uttam. There was no space for him to really play it. So 3.5 minutes left, 4-4. What a game we've witnessed. Vishnukant steals it off Brooks, but good return coming back in the end by Geddes, but he played it straight into the Indian player. Free hit now, India just outside the circle. Vishnukant self-passes, carries it the required 5 metres. Good defensive play from Australia. Geddes came out with it, but it was Jay McDonald who won the ball for Australia. Atkinson to McDonald again. Henderson. Well, Rajinder was one of the players I thought you were going to need to look out for, but he's been relatively quiet in this match, and India really need him to start coming into this game a little bit more if they're going to get something out of this. Uttam, he will try and inspire his team. Plays the ball forward to Bobby. Looking for the run of Vishnukant, a little bit too far ahead of him. And Australia knocking it around well at the moment. Hubbard got the pass forward and playing on quickly is Henderson. Good pass finds Cooper Burns. Burns faced with Sharda. Gets away from him now along the baseline. Burns lays it back. Shot on the turn. Ricochets up off the stick of Rohit. So it'll be a long corner to Australia. Again, they're calling for the ball. First time it goes in from Doan, but Burns couldn't get it under control. So India can breathe a sigh of relief now. Amandeep for India. Comes square to Amandeep Lakra. Pavana down the line to Bobby. Played over the side by David Hubbard. Approaching the final minute of the third quarter. Amandeep Lakra just being told to move it about a foot further forward. Good pass this time to Angad Bir. He's got right underneath that, and that's gone out on the far side. Lovely weaving run again from Uttam. Wins a long corner. Looking to lead his team from the front. Holland just stood there, let the ball hit him. Rohit. Holland looks to put pressure on Rohit. He lost the ball between his legs for a second. Amandeep Lakra now. Goes back to Rohit once more. Into the final 20 seconds of this quarter. Well, the Indian bench is shouting. I don't speak Hindi, so I can't tell you what they're saying. Jumping across, over the side it goes, off Toby Mallon. Utam again gets on with things quickly. Mallon looked to try and tackle him, and there is the hooter just as Angad Bir was going into the circle. That is the end of the action in the third quarter, but it's been lively again. 1 goal apiece. Shardar giving India back the lead, but then Brooks getting another goal for Australia, his second, and their fourth, means we go into the final break. India 4, Australia 4. The Indian players making their way back out first once again. Does that give you any signs as to what's going to happen in this final quarter? They're keen to get on with things, all tied up at 4 apiece. Is there going to be a winner in this match? India could do with the 3 points. Bobby pushes it back to Vishnukant. 15 minutes to go. Vishnukant again being put under pressure by Hart. Comes wide to Amir Ali. Geddes jumps high. Watched it all the way onto his stick. Then managed to... Did he find the foot, or was it just off the stick that time of Chamarko? Foster brings it down now. Not sure it was actually intended for him, but... Brodie Foster managing to get hold of it. India stepping out. I think that was a fair challenge. Bobby will collect this. He'd got in round the back of Henderson, but no. It's a free hit to Australia. You just feel it's just going to take either a moment of magic or a little slip by somebody. This time, Amir coming in as Holland was claiming that one. I'll work the two out. Both passages of play, players were running into that space. Free hit just outside the circle, taken quickly by Henderson. Appeals for a penalty corner from Australia. Long corner given to them. Mallon. Brooks didn't get it under control, but it will be kept in play by Geddes. Geddes comes back to Brooks again. Otterback. Come to Otterback again. He's got a heavy touch there. Rajinder looks to close him down. Got the pass to Brooks though. Now Bobby looks to close him down. Touch there came from Hart, but India have got it back. Chance for them to break forward. The ball with Bobby now as he looks to go down the left-hand side. Brooks comes back, steals it back for Australia, and his pass is a good one. Nice turn this time from Liam Henderson. Good defence, though, from Vishnukant coming back. Henderson lost the ball momentarily, but managed to slip it to Brooks. Brooks goes infield to Lambeth. And there's a little bit of pushing there off the ball. Brooks will get it. Good steal that time coming from Chamarko. Vishnukant again. Sharda. Feeds it to Vishnukant, gets it back. Over the side it goes off the Australian stick, so India ball. Sharda will probably throw it long. He's saying that he wants the Australian player 5 metres away. Rohit now goes out wide onto the right-hand side. Making himself available is Amandeep, but they go to the air again. And that one, well, that should be, if anything is right, a free hit to India. Uttam appeals and is still looking a little bit miffed at the umpire that nothing was given. Meanwhile, Australia go on the attack. That's a very good pass into the circle. And just taken a penalty corner given against India. Deemed to have played deliberately over the baseline. And I have to say that Rohit is absolutely fuming. Toby Mallon was the player who received it. He looked to be trying to make his way towards goal. Did Rohit play it over the baseline deliberately? You be the judge. The umpire felt so. And so it is a penalty corner to Australia, their 4th of the day. So can they come back? The Malaysian crowd giving a shout of Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. So Brooks now at the first battery. Brodie Foster at the second. They go to Foster. Foster flicks deflected. Cooper Burns it was who got the touch, or was it in fact? No, I think it might have been Lambeth. Well, last night I called Lambeth scoring and it was Burns. Tonight I've done it the other way round. I'm pretty sure that was Lambeth with the touch, and he's given Australia the lead from the penalty corner. So Australia, with 11 minutes left, have the lead. Amir, that's a mistrap by him. The pressure maybe just beginning to mount on India. Doan over the ball for Australia. Goes back to Sims. Otterbach. And that's a mistrap. Otterbach will have to clean up. Bobby closing him down. And Lambeth just letting that one run. It's going to be Australia's ball. Just took a touch off the Indian stick. Now the ball boy placed that ball, not the Australian player, where he felt it crossed the line. Umpires brought the play back a good 8 or 9 metres. Hubbard now. McDonald. Foster didn't get that on his stick the way he would have liked. Angadbir. Oh, dear me. So making his way forward now, Trent Sims. Short pass to Foster. Another free hit to Australia just outside the circle. Foster makes sure it goes the 5 metres. Gives it to Sims now. And Sims wins another free hit for Australia. The clock continues to count down, and India have to have one eye on that. Get his pass is a good one too. Toby Mallon. Mallon plays it out to the left-hand side. Hundal hassling away. And it is an India free hit. So India now start moving forward. Comes wide to Amir. Geddes, though, intercepts that pass intended for Bobby. Angadbir, though, lovely steal and gets it to Bobby. Good feed to the top of the circle to Johnson. And India look pleadingly at Eric Etzebeth, nothing doing. And that time just stepping in the 5 metres, Amir. As Sims was about to bring it down. Sims goes to the air. Just slipping after he brought that down is Liam Henderson. Sims a little bit too physical there on his challenge with Chimarko. Just looking for the Indian player that's going to turn this game back their way. Vishnukant has been busy throughout, and Rajinder, as I said, been a little bit quiet for mine in this game. Uttam is another one that can do it in a second. So too Bobby. Good steal again from Atkinson. Cooper Burns ahead of him, but Puvana read that well. Burns will come up with it eventually. Let it go a little bit too far, and now Johnson has it for India. Looks to play the pass. Probably just needed to slip it a second earlier to Ankit Pal. But India have possession. We've gone past the halfway stage in the final quarter. Thrown to the air, jumping and brought down well that time by Hundal. Brooks, though, steals it back for Australia. Hundal ahead of him. Brooks turns, still weaving his way forward. Amir wins it back for India. Hundal tried to knock it past Geddes. And then it eventually came up off the Indian stick, so it'll be Australia free hit. Geddes throws it high. Well, that surely has to be. Cooper Burns was standing right under it, and the Indian player backs into him. And this is where that rule is just so confusing. We've seen so many different interpretations in this game alone. And I think the sooner a discussion is held as to how this is going to be administered, and it needs to be black and white. No more up to the umpire's discretion. Uttam. Rajinder. Rajinder into the circle, looks to square it. Good block coming in that time from McDonald. Atkinson throws it into the air. Henderson brings it down. Infield it goes to Brooks. Back to Henderson again. Henderson, well, he was looking to feed Doan. Vishnukant picks up. Lovely little dummy by Vishnukant. Feeds Rajinder. Is this where he's going to come into the fore? But his pass was too telegraphed. Otterback read it. Cooper Burns, though, can't trap. And so it will be India ball. 5.5 minutes left in this match. India, they really can't afford to lose this, or it may well go all the way down to their last game against Great Britain. And that will be at the 4 o'clock time slot on Friday. Of course, if South Africa win today as well, they may find themselves in the mix for a place in the gold medal match on Saturday. So many permutations at the moment. We'll have a better idea after the play today as to which teams are most likely to play in that match. At the moment, Australia, if this result stands, they will book their place. So the foul coming from Amandeep Lakra. Under 5 minutes, and I think it's the Malaysia bus just coming in. And they just, in the open top bus, there was a whoop from it. It may have been Great Britain. They might be very pleased. It is another India free hit, but time is running out. They need to get the ball forward. Cyril Lagun goes infield to Vishnukant. Good turn again that time from Chimarko. Played it out wide. Amandeep got it back to Chimarko. Chimarko, lovely run into the circle. Pulls it back. Geddes is there in front of goal. Is it going to go? Higgins has saved it. Appeals from India, but it will be a penalty corner. It looked like it was just going to dribble in, but somehow Higgins kept it out. And so a penalty corner for India, their 6th of the match. Sharda has converted 2. And he is on the pitch still. So can he get a hat-trick to pull India level? Well, the clock counting down as Vishnukant now makes his way to the baseline. Sharda lining up at the first battery. Alongside him is Rajinder. Uttam will be doing the stopping for Sharda. And now Rajinder slips to there, feeds it to Sharda, deflected, and it's gone wide. It'll be a long corner. The Australian fans all applauding. Sharda takes it quickly. Rajinder again, a little shimmy of the stick. Looks to lay it back. It's going to break kindly for India. Trying to turn is Bobby. Determined defence from Australia. Pushed forward for Hart. He can't keep that in play and almost runs into the substitutes waiting to come on for India. 3.5 minutes left. Australia hanging on. India throwing everything at them. Sims brings that one down. Managed to get away from that challenge coming in from Uttam. India, though, have stolen it back. Not according to the umpire, though. So Australia with the free hit. India pressing high now. Geddes has a little bit of space. No one closing him down. Carries it out of the 23. Carries it over halfway. Gives it now to Rajinder. Rajinder, though, being put under pressure by Hart. Thrown to the air by Lagun. Bobby brings it down. Zinner was in close attendance. Didn't want to give away a free hit. Sims now. 2 players surrounding him. Chamarko. It's gone out of play. So it will be India ball as we go past 2 minutes 30. Amandeep to Rajinder. Cyril to Amir. First time by Sharda, finds Uttam. Uttam will like to run along the baseline. Well watched by Jay McDonald as he just took it as Uttam lifted it in the air. Long corner again, Sharda. We got 2 minutes left now. And again, it is Henderson. Steals it for Australia. Nathan Zinner eating up valuable seconds. India wanting Australia to get on with things quickly. Bobby jumping in front. Siar Kumar urging his players to press high. And they've stolen that. Good work being done that time by Amandeep Lakra. Geddes, though, steals it away from India as they came in the circle again. Infield it goes this time to Atkinson. Got away from the first challenge. Pulls away again from the second from Chamarko. Holland, can he keep it in play? Just needs to keep it in the corner, Jack Holland. Instead he goes back to Atkinson. Atkinson lifts it in the air. Doan should bring that down. Into the circle he goes. India have the ball. There's over a minute left. Not much more. Uttam turns. Uttam slips the ball forward. Good pass to Sudeep Chamarko. Chamarko looking for Bobby. Bobby gets a little tap in the back from Nathan Zinner. And what a finish! India managed to pull a goal back. And that was a superb build-up from them. All the way from defence to attack. And Amandeep gets the equaliser with 46 seconds left on the clock. So India keep their dream alive. A loss would have been really bad news for them. A draw, well, it's going to be better than a loss. And Australia, well, they will be fuming. The game was so nearly theirs, but by my estimations, the point will be enough for Australia to book their place in the final. And, of course, it will mean they still remain unbeaten. Credit to India. It looked as if it was slipping away from them. Vishnukant now goes on a run. That was a foul from Cooper Burns, clearly. And Burns will get a yellow card with 26 seconds left on the clock. It's outside the circle, so India can play it directly in if they wish to. And Sharda did this the other night. In it goes. Well watched by Otterbach. Over the side it goes. India need to get on with it quickly. Uttam, their captain, comes across. Slips, though. And it will be Australia free hit. Glance at the scoreboard. 11 seconds and it's still counting down. Australia in no hurry to get on with play. It goes to the air and that will be the final play. There goes the hooter. Well, what a game we've just witnessed. What a shame the stream went down. My apologies. Nothing to do with us, I'm afraid. But hopefully those of you that watch this game later will still enjoy it as much as we have bringing it to you. Final score here is India 5, Australia 5.